This is One on One. The Public Television family is pleased to welcome Emily Allen, Senior Vice President of Programs, AARP Foundation. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
For those who don't know what the foundation is, tell them.
Sure, absolutely. We are a nationwide organization that focuses in very particularly on the issue of senior poverty. We know in this day and age that even if you have a lot of resources, life can be challenging. But then you keep in mind the fact that 20 million, we estimate that 20 million older adults don't have adequate financial resources and are really at risk of not meeting their basic needs. So the foundation's mission really is about creating and advancing the most effective solutions that help those low-income older adults meet their basic needs in life.
Describe some of the most pressing challenges these older adults are facing.
Sure, absolutely. When you think about basic needs in life, think about just what you need to survive on a day-to-day basis. And it goes back to, do you have enough food on the table? Are you food secure, or are you struggling with hunger issues? We estimate that 10 million seniors in this nation face the threat of hunger every day.
10 million.
10 million. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just amazing. And it's often not a case of not enough food, but is it access to adequate and nutritious food?
Healthy food.
Healthy food, exactly.
Why is that harder?
Well, a variety of reasons. When we think about older adults, where they live, are they in an urban setting? Are they in a rural population where maybe what we consider a food desert? So there's food there, but it's more a corner market kind of thing, right, where there aren't fresh fruits and vegetables or other types of sources like that. So it's a struggle for individuals.
Income security, income insecurity.
Right.
Talk about it.
Absolutely. So we know that older adults, particularly when with AARP Foundation, we're focused on people who are 50 and older. So a lot of times people think, skewing older, okay, you've got Social Security or Medicare. When you think about 50 and older, these are individuals that are very often wanting and needing to stay in the workplace. And for whatever reason, may have lost a job and are really struggling with getting back into a job and having that secure, steady source of income. So the foundation very much focuses and works with partners across the country to ensure that older adults have the right skills and have the right connections in order to get back into a good job in their community.
The psychological and emotional issues associated with aging fascinate me on a lot of levels. Yeah. I remember when I got the AARP card came to the house.
Yes.
I may believe it wasn't there. And I talked to some friends of mine, and they're like, yeah, we did the same thing. I threw it out.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, I threw it out real quick.
Right.
I was like, what?
Well, there's...
By the way, they're very good at getting it out there.
They are.
They know everyone's...
Yes, yeah. And we are the affiliated charity of AARP.
Yes, I want to make that clear.
Yeah, certainly, we are associated very much with AARP. And the fact that, in this nation, 10,000 people turn 65 every day. So this is this is a growing population. But people are aging very differently. They want meaning and purpose in their life. And so a lot of times that disconnect between, oh, that's my parents' organization, there's a disconnect. But often, what we do in AARP and certainly in AARP Foundation is connect the dots between what you want in life as you age and what is available to you.
So it's interesting, at the foundation, when people are turning 50, and say you get the card,
right,
you're aware, how are you aware that someone is struggling either with food issues or income issues or psychological and emotional? How would you even know that? That's
a good question. And I think we rely very much on, we are a nationwide organization, so we're in communities every day. We have an interesting portfolio of programs and services, outreach efforts. We work with partners a lot. We rely very much on partners who are on the ground with an ear to the ground on what's happening. A good example of that is we focus very much on this growing and emerging issue of isolation.
Right.
So, when we think of basic needs, it's easy to think about a roof over your head. We focus on housing security, affordable housing, safe housing, income security, a job.
That's what Maslow's hierarchy of needs would be.
You take
That's
care exactly
of that.
Where we were.
Being alone, socialization.
Exactly. So, it's interesting when we were looking at that basic, hierarchy of needs as we were creating what we term our impact areas, income, hunger, and housing, those were obvious. That last one, we talked a lot about it, and more we think about what do you need in life? You need financial security, certainly, but you also need health security. And so we begin to connect the dots between the fact that more and more, we estimate some 17 million people are struggling with the issue of isolation and loneliness.
Being alone.
Being alone.
Feeling
or
alone.
feeling alone.
Feeling
That's
alone.
the other piece, yeah. You could be surrounded by people, but feel very, very alone.
What the heck do you do for those people?
Well, it's a good question. You really have to peel away the onion a bit and figure out what the root cause of it, of the isolation or the feelings of loneliness. It could be the fact that someone may be struggling with hearing loss. Think about that. If suddenly you were okay, and then your hearing begins to decline and you really can't or struggling to interact with the world around you, then it's not necessarily a typical, well, let's just get them plugged into technology.
It's a health issue associated.
It's a health issue, right.
Wow.
It could be a transportation issue. You know, I used to get around okay. I could drive my car.
Right.
I may have a medical issue. I may fall and break a hip. Now I'm confined more to my home. And have I built a network around me that can help me interact?
Could be a geographic change that someone
Could be
makes. Could be the loss of close friends.
Absolutely. Yeah, think about the caregiving issue. So many individuals may pick up stakes from a community that they've lived in all their lives and move somewhere
sorry for interrupting. To one they can now afford, but now they feel very
one
lonely.
they afford, or one that they need to move to caregive for a parent or whatever. And now they feel very alone, and they don't have that network that is so critically important.
How rewarding is your work?
I love it. Every day, me and the team get up and just, I have a team. What's really exciting now is I have a team of social entrepreneurs who are really looking at these issues in new and different ways. We have direct service programs, so we meet and greet and know the people that we serve every day. But now we're also taking on kind of new solutions, and we're looking at new enterprises that we can develop that attack these really systemic problems in our communities.
We appreciate the work that you and your colleagues do every day.
Well, thank you.
Emily Allen, Senior Vice President of Programs at AARP Foundation. I want to thank you for joining us. This is part of our Aging in America series, and the series will continue, particularly when we find people like you.
Oh, well, thank you so much for highlighting the issue.
That's our job, and we're proud to do it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Felician University, Bartley Healthcare, Century 21 Construction, New Jersey Sharing Network, Adler Aphasia Center, the Fidelco Group, and by ADP. Promotional support provided by bestofnj.com, covering all New Jersey has to offer, and by New Jersey Family Magazine and njfamily.com. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.